The Bavandid dynasty stands on the edge of destiny and disaster. Our vassals squabble, factions plot, and expansion marches in the wrong direction. Yet beyond the chaos, a greater purpose burns, a holy war with the Arabian Empire to restore the ancient borders of Persia and claim the title of Seljuk. But in the shadows, the Seljuk Khanate grows, a vassal too ambitious and too dangerous to ignore. Before we forge an empire, we must first tame the storm within. This is the fight for Zoroastrian Persia. Hello everybody and welcome back to our Zoroastrian Persia run. The good news is that we're not currently fighting any rebels, which is great to see, and it's a change of pace because all we've been doing recently is dealing with strife inside of the realm. Now, the big issue is, of course, the Seljuk Khanate here, the nomad that we gave land to, who's gone ahead and founded this kingdom and continues to expand. He's actually currently at war with none other than my actual player heir and brother, who has the kingdom of Daylum here that he inherited after our father died. The issue, though, is that the Seljuks are already significantly oversized, and they are now also going to war for land inside of Daylum. What I think I will do over here is actually command him to stop this vassal war. This will improve the Bavandid house unity, because obviously he's attacking our house member. And we'll see if he actually agrees to this or not. I have a feeling that he won't. On the one hand, with the Seljuk Khanate, I'm somewhat of the opinion of, if we can keep them friendly and in the good books, then they may even just continue to expand out for us and make our realm quite a bit stronger. But alternatively, the direction in which they may expand over here could be an issue, as it could just pull us into conflicts that we have no real interest in. Not to mention the sort of worst case scenario is what we have right now, where the Seljuks continue to go to war with our own vassals. Because if they become a dominant force, I mean, they already are a dominant force, but if they become a significantly dominant force inside of the realm, it could be difficult for us to even deal with them. All it would take is for the Seljuks to join one wrong faction, and that faction would suddenly be extremely hard to deal with. So we're going to attempt to stop this vassal war. We'll see if he agrees or demands something in return, which I suspect he might. The issue as well is that he does have 2 daughters, but only 1 son. He is rakish and has lover's pox, but is in poor health. But when he dies, everything is going to go to his eldest son here, considering there is nobody else to inherit. And that could be an issue. Just for more context, this is what the Seljuk Empire should look like in its entirety. But then in reality, this is really what we're dealing with in terms of the Seljuks. So quite a bit oversized and continuing to expand. We also need to choose our lifestyle focus. It's recommending diplomacy here, which could be interesting. We're only 1 away from picking up Patriarch, actually, which is decent but non-ideal. Something else that we would like to do as Quarrine the Third here is actually try and revoke the Emirate of Baghdad and try and move our capital over here to Baghdad to see if we can build that unique building for our actual faith. This is a powerful vassal who does not like us very much, mainly due to no alliance, but we probably won't go for an alliance with you. We'll probably try and keep you in the bad books somewhat strategically to then try and actually move against you later on. But for now, I am going to finish the family hierarch here, try and get the patriarch lifestyle trait, and then possibly rotate into either August or a diplomat. And then when we can change our actual focus later on, we likely will. The head of the Magi has also just come to us, saying that after much deliberation, he is happy for us to divorce our wife. This is actually just a woman that is lowborn, giving us no real alliances, no inheritable traits. I imagine this marriage happened somewhat quickly, possibly for an alliance at the time during my father's reign. But for now, we are going to divorce this woman and we're going to try and find a new wife for ourselves. Meanwhile, Khan Kobayaka, the Seljuk Khanate here, has of course refused to end his war. So already showing defiance there, which is not good to see. What is interesting though is while looking for actual marriages, if we look at the faith here, we can kind of see that despite the fact that this land is recently conquered by us, there are actually Khans here who are already Mazdaean. Undoubtedly, the Seljuks are a problem that need to be dealt with. I just don't know if it's the right time yet to do anything too aggressive. We could obviously just try and revoke those lands and force him to turn on us, but the problem is that with the state that the realm is in, the number of factions that we have, I feel like if we were to do that, we would just be inviting a lot more people to join that faction. There isn't an insane amount of fantastic alliances going at the moment. My primary need right now is to actually just have some children. If we could get them with some decent traits, like over here, hello, you are lazy and ambitious, but you are also whole of body and a genius. And we will lose some legitimacy marrying you because you are a lowborn, but considering there's no fantastic alliances going, this might be the better move. Even the marriages that do give alliances require me getting a betrothal for like 6 to 8 years before we can actually have children, which is no use to me. If we die currently, we would then play as our brother, who's currently at war against the Seljuks with his 431 men against the Seljuks 4,000. Zooming out from the internal politics for a second though, our borders are looking very, very nice. We just need the rest of Jazeera here, which is annoyingly split between 3 different duchies, so we'll likely have to wait for a kingdom tier invasion to pick up the rest of this. But once that's done, and we still actually hold the land, we should be able to then actually become the Seoshaint, which will give us a nice amount of bonuses. And then from there, we can somewhat calm down on our actual expansion. Not stop it completely. We still want to move against the Byzantines and try and work our way over to Hellas and Thessalonica over here. The Khazars are actually growing significantly inside of the Byzantine Empire as well, which is not good to see. I would really like to just deal with the Byzantine Empire rather than having to deal with the Khazars again. But once you become Seoshaint, we can somewhat go on our own schedule then. We can try and sort out the internal realm a bit, make sure everything is as steady as it possibly can be, and then dedicate all of our forces moving in this direction. I know people have sort of mentioned as well that there are other lands that were like historically inside of the Persian Empire and whatnot at different times. I fully hear you there, but I am currently editing a world conquest video to finish off our Rome series. I'd rather not have this turn into that as well, so we are going to focus on just getting in through the Byzantine Empire, picking up the kingdoms we need for Darius's revenge, and that will be the end of this series. But we still have a long way to go. I'm going to attempt to romance my new wife here, just to try and make sure we can get as much children as possible. What we will also do is inherit the legend that was started by our father, Rostam II here. We're going to start owning this. It's going to be a bit of a drain on our monthly income, but realistically, the ability to actually finish a mythical legend at this stage of the game would be incredible for us. And if it ever really becomes too expensive and unfeasible, we can always just finish it before it becomes mythical. Someone else also mentioned that we should mess around with some of the tax decrees here as well, which I do agree with. Deccan, for example, is very interesting indeed. This gives plus 35% taxes and levies, as well as legitimacy gain per vassal, and then vassal monthly prestige goes up as well. So this is actually better than basic taxes, I'm pretty sure, without any of the debuffs. Like, obviously there's Zakat as well, which is incredible in terms of taxes, but the minus 30 opinion of liege, I don't really think we can tank that just yet. We could also go very granular and put the actual vassals that we really want to keep in the good books under the Mukata status. This doesn't give any bonuses to taxes or levies, but does give plus 30 opinion of liege, which is quite nice. But I think for now, let's actually go with the Deccan here. Now, the Immortals, the Holy Order of our Zoroastrian faith, want a different city. That is perfectly fine. You can have that city. I'll take the 750 gold. Honestly, the more land the Immortals want, the more I am happy to give them. Having a very strong religious band backing up our Zoroastrian faith will be key, both for us as well as our vassals to use as well in their own expansion. One thing I am going to attempt to do, it's a little bit cheeky and may not work, but I am going to attempt to actually convert the culture of the capital of the Seljuk Khanate to Persian, just to see if there's any chance that the Khan himself will actually then convert to local culture once this finishes. Now, he may just completely undo it once it finishes, but having him be aligned not only through religion but also through culture could help quite a bit in terms of his actual opinion of us as well. Our uncle is married into his family, but at the moment at our level, he does also consider us to not have an alliance, which is really not ideal. We would like to get an alliance with him sooner rather than later. Mainly so that he can't actually join factions against us, but even with the alliance, we still want to try and actually make moves to try and degrade the strength of the Seljuk Khanate here. The sooner they can sort of shrink back down to size and be controllable, the better. Someone else also pointed out, I was looking at special buildings here, and the Great Tower of Silence can actually only be created while you're still secretly Zoroastrian. Let's see, at the moment, we can't actually build it as our faith allows us to do traditional burials without the need for the Tower of Silence. We can actually build something else in these slots. However, I don't think I will yet. It's not that big of a deal considering we're still locked behind a lot of our innovations towards building any of this, but I also don't want to necessarily overly invest here if we do end up picking up Baghdad and moving our capital over there. It's unlikely anything will come of it, but I will put our spy master, who is actually the Khan of the Seljuk Khanate, on to find secrets over here inside of Baghdad, or rather over here where this actual emir has his capital, just to see if there's any chance we get a hook on him, which could make revoking these lands at least non-tyrannical, even if he's still unhappy and rebels against us. Once it's not tyrannical, I don't believe any other vassals will join him, even if they are also disgruntled. I am also tempted to try and pick up some of these lands up here that have broken out of somewhat both the Khazars and the Byzantine Empire as well, but I am a little bit afraid. Hold on, forced marriage. I'm not sure who had a strong hook on who here, but what's more worrying is that they're both part of the Bavandid dynasty, but okay. Some of the factions have actually been falling off, which has been great to see, but we do have a new one to actually destroy the realm, which is non-ideal. There is one satrap over here, miles away in Kashgar, and then similarly, it is the Emir of Baghdad as well. Now, the Emir of Baghdad we expect to be unhappy, but we don't want to see this faction picking up steam. My sister here is set up to marry a vassal in our realm who's only actually a count, so I may actually break this betrothal for now. Apologies, but if I could actually marry my sister off to somebody in the Seljuk Khanate, that would be quite a bit nicer. However, I think she may be too old because she's 36 at the moment, and the Khan doesn't have anybody to marry that would actually give us an alliance. I know we're still obviously in the diplomacy focus here, but once we finish this, there could be an argument to actually go down the intrigue tree and try and actually fabricate some claims on both the Seljuks and the Emir of Baghdad and try and take some land off of them that way. At the moment, despite the fact that our income and everything else is quite well, oh look at this, a cadet branch. Lady Elam here made House Elamede. Our romance scheme has been successful and our new wife is now our soulmate. Please give me some genius children. Despite the fact that our income and everything looks decent at the moment, I'm still rather unhappy that at the moment I only really have 3 domain holdings and nothing to actually upgrade. Everything is locked behind innovations at the moment. And on top of that, we could be holding up to 4 more counties that we're currently not. So ideally, we want to take Baghdad and some of the counties inside it and make that our sort of new primary de jure duchy as well. We'll hold on to the duchy over here, and if we can, these lands, but hopefully we can pick that up. Now, our house unity has actually been dropping quite a bit. As I have actually started to put more Bavandid members in positions of power, they have started to take actions against one another. So we've dropped down from harmonious all the way back to impassive. Now, this is non-ideal because it changes succession ever so slightly. The player heir opinion is not that strong, and critically, house members have the option to challenge their house head in order to take their place. So we really want to move this back up towards harmonious. At the moment, we are impassive, and while here, we do have the ability to actually consult our house members. There's a chance for the base progress and skill impact on our counselor tasks to be increased by 10% for house members serving on the council. Now, the head of the Magi here is actually our cousin, so that could be quite decent for helping to actually convert some lands. I don't believe anybody else on the council is House Bavandid, though. No, not at the moment. But for 100 piety, why not? I'm also going to have the game notify me when we have the ability to actually steer our house, because we want to get this towards harmonious as much as possible. We also have this decision here to sponsor a research project, that of either military or civil. That is rather interesting. I think I might try the civil level 1 first and see what we can get here. It is 500 gold and 150 prestige, but we can afford it. So we're going to have our court scholar here, see if she can sort this out for us. Still lacking a bit in terms of artifacts as well, so I think I will also commission one. I think ideally some armor would be quite nice, so let's get some flexible chainmail going. Acquaintance taken prisoner, and it is the Emperor of the Byzantine Empire. He's been taken prisoner by one of his themes. Epirus here has actually won a war in... It's not even his claim, is it? No, it is his claim. Okay, we're looking at the new emperor. My wife is pregnant. Tremendous news. We need children as soon as possible. The new emperor is now in control, and yet the realm is still not stable. There is another war now against the tyranny of the previous emperor that's somehow still going on. Oh, this is a new type of faction. The Karluk Tengri nomads want to establish new nomadic realms. Who is involved in this? It's actually counties over here that are inside of our realm that... Well, actually, they're inside the Seljuk realm and then up to us. But the problem is that because they are actually Tengri, as well as their culture, they are actually trying to create a nomadic realm. So I might actually move Head of the Magi over here, start actually converting these lands to the right faith. Now, the King of Makran down here, who is our tax collector, and also from House Bavandid, is a kinslayer, which is non-ideal. We could attempt to imprison him. High likelihood of success. We may want to give this a go. It will reduce our house unity, but realistically, we cannot have a Bavandid king going around killing members of our dynasty. Going to attempt to imprison you. This should go off without a hitch, and it's not tyrannical either. Okay, amazing. There we go. He is now our rival, which is to be expected. But what I really want to do is actually revoke your title as king and get this back under our control. Oh, this is tyranny, though. So we could imprison him without tyranny because he was a kinslayer. But we now don't have a reason to actually revoke these lands off of him. Oh boy, I didn't even realize how much they were going to dislike it for me marrying a lowborn. Minus 44 is not ideal. I do want to revoke this kingdom, but I'm not going to do it yet. I feel like I've been a bit too loose with just taking tyranny on board in this run. I'd rather not just do that because it's very easy to do it and then in a short amount of time later do it again, and then your whole realm just turns on you. So we'll give him a little bit of time to cool off in jail. We likely will still revoke it, even if it invokes tyranny. But I kind of want to save those tyrannical moves for something against the Seljuks or Baghdad. I think I will also plan a pious pilgrimage here. Where makes the most sense? I might actually head over to Auzaj here. I think this could be decent in terms of the distance we have to go to get there, in terms of the actual piety that we'll get from it, because we'll need quite a bit for the holy war we have planned against the Arabian Empire for Jazeera. And we have quite a bit of gold at the moment that we're not doing much else with. All right, so we're going to focus on zealotry with this. I am actually going to go for pomp here. So 400 gold, we'll get much more piety, which will be key. And with mercenary guards, there is supposedly no danger, but let's see. Oh, and our child has been born. It is a daughter, but she did pick up intelligent, which is fantastic to see. I will pin you and try and keep an eye on you as well. But if we can get a son going as well, that would be incredible, please. 56% chance to gain the trade hunter off of this man. I just can't do it. 17 stress. Okay, we have arrived and we have walked the holy path. Let us see what level we can get this to. We are still at the pilgrimage, but we've just received word that our armor is finished. Persian male here for really some more prowess, some control territory defender advantage, which is nice as well. Thank you very much. We'll take a green. The research that we funded is also finished. So we have picked up treaties on taxation for 30 years. So all of House Bavandid gets +1 stewardship and plus 15% holding taxes. Very nice. Not the most incredible pilgrimage, but I don't think we could expect a huge amount considering that it wasn't that far away. But we have at least gained 265 piety. We'll probably need some more, but we do have the gold necessary to actually do another one once it's off of cooldowns. That shouldn't be an issue. Kobyak was unable to find any secrets in Baghdad. That's fine. Go back to disrupt schemes for me then. We'll figure out something else. I think I might also put my Chancellor here on integrate title and try and actually integrate the Seljuk kingdom into our official borders. This will take 42 years, but it would be incredible, as a big debuff that we actually have here is the fact that we are not his rightful liege. I know it's only -5 here, but I think they can factor in quite a bit more when it comes to things like faction commitment and whatnot. Now, we've returned home. We're going to immediately head out to Yazd here. It's right next to us, but it hopefully will give us a bit more piety once again. We can now also finally pick up Patriarch, which is quite nice. The house opinion is not something that usually means a ton, but in a clan realm like this, it's actually pretty powerful. I'm also going to steer our house unity towards Harmonious with this 200 piety. I know it's a little bit counterintuitive, seeing as though we're trying to build it up at the moment, but I think that will be helpful. Speaking of house unity, I'm not sure how useful it is to keep the Shah of Makran here imprisoned. Now, obviously, he is a known criminal, but in spite of that, it seemingly is going to be tyrannical anyway if we actually try and revoke this Shahdom. But you know what? 20 opinion is rough, 75 legitimacy is rough, and the house unity is rough, but realistically, we can't justify letting him go given that he is a kinslayer. So I am going to revoke his title. He will accept and stay in our prisons, which is perfectly fine for now. Obviously, annoying all of our vassals is going to make the factions a little bit more unhappy, but I think we can still deal with it. The main issue faction-wise is that now we have a faction to install a wandering Bavandid man on the actual throne of the Empire. It's actually rather interesting looking through their faction commitment here. A big one is that the liege was their unpreferred heir. That's quite interesting. You are just a wandering man, though. Can I invite you to court? Yes, you will accept. Amazing. We'll invite you so we can arrest you instantly if something bad happens. Once again, this wandering Bavandid man is betrothed to another member of House Bavandid. 27% risk of inbred. Guys, can we cut this out, please? Let's break this betrothal. I'll marry you off to somebody else who is not that important. You are also wheezing. I'm half tempted to make this matrilineal just so that this actual dynasty falls out with the Bavandids, but that probably doesn't make a huge amount of sense. I don't think we can solve our problems here by having less of us, so we'll leave it as normal. No alliance, we'll get him married off at the very least. Oh, and here it is again. 2 more Bavandids trying to marry into each other. What is going on? I mean, I suppose in a clan realm where everything revolves around the family, keeping it in the family is not a terrible idea. This is just my cousin, and then you are actually... Oh, look at this, another daughter. Hello there, Azadeh. You are quick. Okay, tremendous. I was saying that this woman here, who is part of the Bavandid dynasty, is actually the regent for this satrap here, the satrapy of Ray. You know what? 0.2% chance. That's fine. That's fine. Do your thing. Oh, this is interesting. Despite the fact that the Tengri nomads are only at 11% military power, they are still firing anyway. That is all the way over here inside of the actual Seljuk realm as well. This is interesting. Part of me would want to say you can just have this land, keep the Seljuks busy trying to get it back again. I don't really want to get pulled in once again to defending Seljuk lands only for the Seljuks to gain more power from it. But I don't like losing 1 level of fame with this either. But at the same time, this is so far out of our wheelhouse what we're trying to do with Persia. I'm going to say, fine, you can have those lands. We'll get the faction disbanded. We will lose a level of our prestige. That's perfectly fine. Seljuks, you'll probably take that back in a moment anyway. This faction is a lot more worrying. What are some of the issues you have? Tyrant, that's perfectly fair. Liege married lowborn spouse, I did also do that. And short reign, yeah, so just quite a few things working against at the moment. It's going to be fine though. If I can just get up to devoted servant in terms of piety and then do the holy war for the rest of Jazeera and become Seoshaint, surely then everyone will love me. Oh my word, here it is. No faction, no nothing. And the Seljuks have declared their independence war. Let's rally the troops for this. To be honest, if we can deal with them, this could actually be ideal. If we could just finally break this land apart, take control of the actual title, possibly even destroy it, and then actually get some more order over here, that would actually be a lot preferable. You can kind of see what's happened though. It's basically everything we've taken past our original lands. It's just never really been happy inside of the realm. But let's try and deal with this. We'll call in all of our allies that want to come. You're more than welcome with your 55 men. I'm going to raise my army over here and we'll get ready. The good news is that generally the Khan of the Seljuk Khanate is a ridiculously strong character, but Kobyak here is old, he's in poor health, and his marshal is not fantastic. He's actually craven as well. Whoever's watching his series must be absolutely snapping. This is not an RP decision at all. I was by no means expecting this. Oh, great. Now my brother's involved in a faction as well. This is just factions galore over here, but I'm quite glad I didn't get involved in trying to secure this land over here. Imagine if my army was over here running out of supply and then this war gets declared. Not good at all. I'm going to just go for it and try and just move in on the capital with everybody first and foremost, see if we can get somebody of interest and end this war quickly. Because we haven't been involved in lots of wars either, our troops actually raised very, very quickly. Welcome in, my friend. Thank you very much. Our troops have been raised very quickly. We may even catch their troops while they're still raising, which would be a way to turn it around, because generally that's what the AI does to me late game. In spite of the fact it's 15,000 men versus 4,000, this is supposedly still going to be a decisive loss. He does have quite a few mercenaries as well as special soldiers too, which are likely swaying it here. It's too late though, we're already committed. Let's see what happens. Do we have the numbers to just grind him down till he's out of men? We might. We're losing a significant amount, but I think we're just sheer overwhelm here. All right, fantastic. That was actually successful. Let us immediately break off our besiegers here and try and follow this army a bit and never really give them the chance to regroup, because if they do with that much quality, could be a problem. What I'm actually going to do is hold my troops here. There's actually a river crossing right here, so if we can just keep our troops here and force them to attack over it, that should give us the advantage we need to deal with their army if they counterattack, and in the meantime, just pray we get somebody useful in this siege. Oh boy, what is this? My vassal Emir Umur, the man from Baghdad, has laid claim to the Bavandid Empire. Oh, how dare you. He gets a press claim on the Empire while we're currently fighting to defend it. Oh my word. Don't forget, we also have this faction over here that wants to install this man on the throne. That's also about to fire. We have somebody else with the claim, another faction for lower crown authority. Oh my word. I'm going to get a betrothal off with my daughter here for the Pratihara kingdom here, because we're going to need some alliances. All right, the siege is done. We actually managed to seize the Oxus bracelet here, which is very nice indeed. We did take a prisoner. I think it might actually be his daughter, is it? It is his daughter. Okay, nice. And we've also picked up his son as well. Actually kind of interesting that didn't go to 100% straight away, given that we have his heir. But fair enough, let's keep sieging. Now, the Liberty faction is firing as well. They want lower crown authority. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to give that to them as well. I do hate going back to 1, but we can always push it back up to 2 whenever we want. We can't afford to fight them right now, and we have so many other factions ready to fire. Had some other rogue armies show up here in the middle of the Seljuk lands. Managed to deal with them, but meanwhile, the Seljuks themselves are back. Still on the other side of the river, at least. They might start sieging us. And now I'm ill. Oh my word. Please save me. Please say excellent work, Salman. Okay, you managed to recover at least. They are on the way. They want to attack, and they are attacking. Oh boy. I don't know if my army can get in there in time, and I'd rather not trickle in while we have, like, no advantage. What I'm going to try and do is group everybody up over here. Force them to be counter-sieging, so when we attack, we have the advantage. This is what we want. We're now forcing them to move through our lands while taking attrition. Come on, can we catch them here? Yes, we can. Amazing. Split them in 2 once again. Come on, deal with this. Deal with this. There we go. There we go. Up to 60% now. Keep the sieging going. It's such horrible timing to be dealing with the Seljuks, but such an amazing opportunity to deal with them. I'm just attempting to try and siege down everything here in a line so that they have to try and siege or take attrition to get to us. Oh no. Another kingdom has just been formed without my knowledge. What is this? Mesopotamia? Yeah, all of these lands over here, and the man who created it absolutely hates us. Oh, that's partly because you don't have the actual land you need. Well, you've already created it, you may as well have it. Honestly, at this stage, it seems counterintuitive, but it may be slightly better just to have kings over dukes, because at least we can just deal with them. Problem is, though, you now also are going to control Baghdad, aren't you? Yes, you are. Wonderful. Okay, we may need to put getting Baghdad under control on the back burner for the time being. We just have to stabilize the situation. Now, we're at 82%. Their army has moved in again. Let's see if we can cut them off for one final battle. Ooh, our Sassanid dynasty banner became illustrious. That's great to see. Now, this siege and some time should be enough to actually get us there with this war, but my army is going to be in tatters for a while, and no doubt the second I finish this, another faction will fire. There it is. We've actually done it. Thankfully, we've been building up our military for long enough that we're actually able to deal with this. Let's enforce our demands and get this dealt with. There he is, the Khan himself in prison. I cannot revoke your titles yet because I need to be to level 2. Let me do this, and that'll probably trigger all the other factions, but it has to be done. One or more holdings in the Seljuk Khanate are under siege. Where? Are they at war with somebody else? I think it's actually because one of his vassals is currently at war. What? What? I was just waiting to revoke those lands, and now Transoxiana's been formed. How did you suddenly get access to all of this? What in the world? Install by faction demand. Oh my word, I don't believe this. So now the man we have in prison just controls an actual high kingdom all the way over here, and there's a new man in control of Transoxiana. Oh my word. And even worse, he's Tengri and Mongol. Oh, I thought we had dealt with this. I couldn't revoke the lands instantly because it was under siege, apparently. There was some other vassal war taking place. That is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. We can't revoke your title because you're not our direct vassal now anymore either. You're a vassal under him. Let me demand your conversion. You'll probably say no, but at least that gives me a reason to go to war with you. In the meantime, let's let our troops get up there. I will not bargain for your soul, my friend. Meanwhile, let us actually kindle the royal flame. At the very least, that show of force did seem to kick a lot of the faction members out of other factions, so we are sending a message. But now, Transoxiana has to be dealt with. He actually has, like, next to no troops at the moment, seeing as though he's just been in power. And since he is a prisoner, we could just try and revoke the title, and then when he says no, go to war with him. Oh, not this again. Look, it still says it under siege. It's basically just vassals inside of Transoxiana that are still at war with one another, and they keep sieging everything down. So until that's resolved, I can't actually revoke this. Let's pin that though. It's fine. We'll give it some more time anyway because we're going to need our troops to actually get back up there in strength. Meanwhile, we've expanded even further over here thanks to our vassals, and another duchy we can mate, all in the wrong direction. Never again are we going to land a nomadic ruler. It just always creates issues. Oh my god, he just died. Oh, that's amazing. He died, and now the man who is in control is Zoroastrian, so we don't have the imprisonment reason against him. This is hilarious. Finally, some good news. An heir. Did you get any traits? No, you didn't. Of course, the daughters did, though. Okay, at least we have an heir. At this stage, we may as well just actually release Kobayak here. We'll have him renounce his claims, and he can just live out the rest of his life as a duke over here instead. You know what? Without even thinking about it, I'm going to go immediately into the intrigue tree here. We need some schemes to get ourselves out of this, because trying to do it officially is just causing us more headaches. In the meantime, I will actually increase the quality of my legend here. It'll be a bit more expensive, but that's fine. And we will actually start to sway you as well. Just get you in our good books for the time being. I'm sure it'll be a problem eventually, but hopefully we'll be in a better position to deal with you by the time we get there. The real unfortunate thing is that while we were dealing with all of that internal strife, the Arabian Empire has now grown in strength significantly, and to do a holy war for the rest of Jazeera, we have to fight 33,000 men. Again, it's mainly because this alliance he has with the Khazars. But again, if we manage to actually get down the intrigue tree, we could possibly find a way to finish that alliance. Like, listen, I know that Quarrine III is a compassionate man, but he's also impatient, and we're being pushed to the brink with what's going on here. Incredibly, the actual Emir of Baghdad is now going to war with the man who actually founded the Kingdom of Mesopotamia in the war against the tyranny. Christian faiths now have access to crusades. Tremendous. Please leave us alone. We have no time for that. What is going on with all of these kings, though? The second that they're a king, moments later they're kinslayers. Like, they're just so much more ruthless than we've been. Taking a second to zoom out and actually just have a look at what's going on over to the west here. Let's not continue to lose sight of it. Like I said, the Arabian Empire is now nice and strong. The Byzantine Empire has been in constant revolt for the past 50 years. The Khazars continue to take advantage of it and remain very strong themselves. Ideally, we need some form of a confederation or something to try and weaken the Khazars and create an opening for us. Meanwhile, to the right of where Germany is formed here, it's an absolute mess. Carpathia is gone. We did just get the battlements innovation, though, so let's go for Burrs next. I know I said I was going to hold off on upgrading any of my holdings as we were moving to Baghdad, but since that's now on the back burner, let's try and put some gold into what we have at the moment, just to see if we can get some value out of it. Oh my word, what is this? Rostam failed to convince the soldiers. Heretics galvanized. Oh, and now we have a heresy down here as well. It's another Zoroastrian faith, but it is Beha Faradism. The worst part about this is that they actually have the county conversion resistance modifier, which is not good, as well as Islamic syncretism. So they'll actually be quite a bit more favorable to the Asharis as well, which is not good at all. I'm going to let my cousin here finish what he's currently converting, and we'll try and convert some of this back as well. Thankfully, nothing too major thus far. How do we have land over here? What in the world is going on? All I want to do is go west. I just need a few more counties, and my vassals are just trying to make it to the end of the world here. Our son is 3 years old and rowdy. To be honest, I think I might actually put him into the martial education focus. It's about time we had a ruler who was just ridiculously good in martial and can just handle anybody. We just picked up Truth is Relative, so we can find how to fabricate some hooks. I'm going to start off by fabricating one over you here in Transoxiana. Predict the difficulty very hard. Fair enough. Let's see what we can do. We might have to throw some gold at this, to be honest. Oh, another son here. Any traits? Nope, nothing inherited. Great to see. Welcome, Rostam. Our whole dynasty is just Rostam and Quareens at this point. Oh, here we go again with the nomads. Where are you? You're over here in the land the Seljuks just took back again. Why do you keep coming towards me with this? I wish you would just go to your liege instead of your top liege. You know what? Fine. Knock us down again in terms of the actual prestige. You can just have this land and hold on to them. Very, very annoying that my vassals can take this land, but then I have to deal with the actual clan uprising. There was a murder scheme on me, but the second I found out about it, it's been abandoned. This realm is not a safe place to be. What the hell is this? I've just inherited a war over here now. This is so hectic. I don't even believe it. 976 troops. Okay. Send the men-at-arms in to deal with this. That's a strange one. We are up to 90% on our fabricate hook here. So if we get one more actual advantage, I'll be happy to fire this. We do also have another dynasty legacy available to us. Please give us something that can help. Men-at-arms counter efficiency, if we want to finish warfare, could be an idea. Rightful rulers is not bad as well. Lasting line would be great to have, because short reign is really just making everything worse when we inherit here with the amount of factions that we actually have. Then divine mandate for the less likely to join. Dissolution and claimant could be huge. You know what? I'm going to rotate into legitimacy here. And the moment we get our 10 advantage, the scheme is discovered. Oh my word. Okay, next time it progresses, we're firing it immediately. That's that word dealt with at least. A weird one to inherit, but we have actually picked up another satrapy here, which is interesting. At least it's somewhat in the right direction. And speaking of the right direction, let's steer our house unity towards harmonious once again. We'll also sponsor another research project. Let's do military this time. Why not? Okay, here we go. 90%, 17 advantages. Give me my hook, please. Okay, amazing. It cost us 300 gold, but that is a strong hook in the bag. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. He's not in control anymore. He's unlanded. It's his son that now controls the whole thing. What is happening? Inherited via abdication. We just put so much effort into fabricating a hook on this man, only for his son to be installed instead. This is like, since Kobyak, we've been trying to sort this out, and the moment we get something up our sleeve, the ruler changes. This is incredible. All right, well, what we're left with is a strong hook on the regent, but no hook on the new Khan, who is just 6 years old. That is going to be an interesting one to deal with. My word, have the Seljuks been a headache. When everybody was talking about it in the comments, I was expecting this big invasion from the north we had to deal with. I was not expecting this nightmare of internal things to deal with. I've never, in all of my time playing Crusader Kings 3, been that unlucky that many times in a row that the second we get a hook on somebody, or we get somebody under control or in prison, they just change who the ruler is. A fantastic tactic by them, I have to say. My plan was to build up to actually get the Holy War for Arabian this episode. We spent most of it still dealing with the Seljuks, now Transoxiana, but somehow we've remained in power, 53 years of age, still feeling fine, working our way down the intrigue tree, we need to get some order here. I am really seeing the ins and outs of a clan realm, and there are so many more pitfalls in a feudal realm. I'm going to leave this episode here. We will be back for a vengeance, and we will become the Seo Saint one way or another, and Transoxiana will be dealt with. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Speaking of helping out the channel, another massive shout out to all of our channel members helping to support me and everything that I do here. And as always, a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier in Faustbread and Wyatt Laird. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.